Circle review, first page. Determine the coordinates of the center and measure for the radius. So the center is just the numbers that are right here. You've got your x adjustment, which is going to be +3. You've got your y adjustment, which is going to be -1. And this is going to be your r squared. So r squared is 16. R is just going to be 4. And that's all they're asking about in that question. On number 2, your x adjustment and y adjustment for your center are not hard to find. They're still both right there. You won't see a problem like this. It's going to be difficult until you get to Algebra 2. The real issue here is 25 over 7. We're going to add 25 over 7 to the other side, and that's going to be our r squared. Now, you might be asked to take and simplify this. If this is r squared, the square root of 25 over 7 is going to be our radius. You're going to take and you're going to split that into the square root of 25 over the square root of 7, which gives you 5 over the square root of 7. And then we need to rationalize that denominator. And so I'm going to multiply by the square root of 7 over 7. And that's going to give us our final answer of 5 square roots of 7 over 7 for our radius. Down here, when we graph, a couple things we're going to want to do. The first is get our center. So positive 2, 0 is going to be our center. We'll go back and hit this one just a second. We'll hit it now. We'll hit it now. This one, again, super easy as far as the center is concerned. And then radius squared on this one, man, I would just punch it into the calculator. You're going to take the square root to get that radius. I believe it's 6.1, if I recall correctly. I did. Alright. So on this one, I would just punch that out and get your radius from there. Anyway, back to this one. We've got our center at 2, 0, which I've got marked. This is our radius squared, so our radius is going to be 2.5. Boom. So you go from the center, 2.5 to the left, 2.5 to the right, 2.5 up, 2.5 down, and that's going to give you your circle. It's really that easy. This one, the center is at -3, positive 3 over 2. Again, it's not any harder than this. We got a radius squared of 4, so we want to go up 2, down 2, left 2, right 2, and there's our circle. Write an equation based on the given information. For these problems, the biggest deal we're going to have is just making sure we're getting the appropriate information. Our first one, I'll have x minus 0. For my x adjustment, I'll have y minus 1/2 for my second adjustment, and I'll have radius squared on the outside, so 64. This is really the only way they're going to be able to take your points away on these kind of problems, is by having a different value than the radius. So we'll get x plus 5.3 for my x. I'll get y minus 1 for my y, and then this is 4.5 is my radius divided by 2. You'll get 20.25 as your radius squared. That's really the only way they're going to be able to take your points away, is give you the diameter. You're assuming that it's a radius. You go fast, you have an 81 over here, and you lose some points. So be careful on that. This one, your center, you're just going to have to pull it from the graph. So I've got, where did I put my pin? Alright, I've got a center at 4, 1. So I'll have x minus 4, y minus 1. And then my radius, I'm just going to count it off. 1, 2, where is it? 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to be my radius, so radius squared, 25. Alright? Anyway, that's that one, pulling it straight from the graph. Let's get into some action here. Assume that all lines that appear to be tangent are tangent. CQD is 120. BC, this should be 30 degrees. BC is 30. And then BEC right here is 25. And they want to know all this stuff. Now, I've talked about this before. When you've got a problem that's all stacked like this, don't go in and try to find an answer, go back, find an answer, go back. Find everything and then go fill in your blanks. So let's find everything first. If I have a central angle that's 20, that means this arc out here is going to be 120. This piece right here, if you think about it like this, I've got a 30, I've got a 25, and I'm missing this outside edge. So I'm going to say that that outside minus 30 over 2 is equal to 25. That gives us x minus 30 equals 50, and that'll give us x equal to 80. So we're getting 80 out here for this long one, and then I have 80 plus 120 plus 30, so that's 230, plus whatever this is right here is equal to 360. And man, just solve for x, you'll get x equal to 130, and now I've got all the pieces I might need, and I'll fill in if they have anything else they want to ask me. So DC is 120, AB is 80, no, AB is 130, my bad, reading the wrong one. AD right here is 80 degrees, and then they want QDC. So I'm going to go back in. You know that both of these are radiuses. Since that's true, these two are going to be the same. That makes isosceles, these two angles are going to be the same. I have 120 degrees inside. These two have to be the same, which means I have 60 degrees left for my triangle divided by 2, 30 degrees, QDC. Alright, let's go on to that next page. Oh, I got my backup, just in case I do something crazy. Alright. AE, 140. Then I have Y for this little piece, and these two are going to be the same. And they want to know a whole bunch of stuff. I'm going to assume they want to know back here as well. Where's BD? There it is. So let's get through it. The whole circle is 360 degrees. I have 140 is equal to 140 plus 5 y's rather. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is equal to 360. So I've got 5y equal to 220. Yeah, 220. Y is going to be equal, let's take 220 divided by 5, 44. That's going to give me a 44, an 88, and then 140 minus 44 is 96, divided by 2 will give me a 48 right here as well. So now let's go back in, fill it in. I've got 44 degrees for BD. DE, I've got 88 degrees. AB, also 88 degrees. And then this BCD, I've got 48 degrees. Looks like I've already filled this in real quick. I'm going to erase that so I can do the work for you. Alright. Looking at that next problem. I've got BC, 4x minus 50. I've got DE right here, which is x plus 25. I've got EF right here, which is x minus 15. And then I've got CD as x. And FB right here, this arc is going to be 50. So just like last time, the whole circle is 360 degrees. I'm going to go in, I'm going to find x. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 7 x's. I'm going to add to it. Here's 50, minus 50 is 0, plus 25, minus 15, plus 10. All that together. And this is equal to 360. So add it all up, set it equal to 360. How much time we got? We got a minute. This will be my last one. 7x is equal to 350. X is going to be equal to 50. And then I'm going to go ahead, go back in here, and plug in my x value of 50. It's going to be 75 rather. And that'll be minus 15, so 35. Go ahead, plug in all my x values. And so now I've got all my arc measures. Alright, we're going to cut the video here, come back, finish this off.